What is going on, YouTube? We are back. We're here in the garage this afternoon. Not on the river yet. We're heading out there tonight. We got a couple things that we got to button up here before the tournament tomorrow. The main one being is a live well. I was just going to run a little air stone or 2 or 3 in my cooler, but I decided to run out to Fleet Farm, grab some material. We're going to build something legit. We're going to keep those fish happy. We're going to keep those fish alive. I'm going to show you what I got going on here. I got the main things put out here on the table, or on my cooler, which I'm going to be using as the tank. What we're going to need for my pump, I'm using a Tsunami by Atwood. It's an 800 GHP, gallons per hour. Livewell pump that should be plenty to keep this water circulating, keep those fish happy. For PVC fittings, it's all 3/4 inch PVC. You're gonna need a 3/4 inch threaded adapter. You're gonna need a 3/4 inch just straight glue and adapter. This is a 90-degree street elbow. This is a male, or this is a female threaded to female slip 3/4 adapter. I've got a 90, or not a 90, T, which is threaded, and then 2 end caps. You probably need maybe a foot or 2 of 3/4 PVC overall. I've got just one piece here, one piece here, one piece here, and a short little piece there. That's all going to depend on the container you're using. Alright, pardon the messy garage. I got a lot of stuff going on. Got the jet motor torn apart. That's getting machined. I got the console. Bait tank's running in the background. But let me pull these things off of here. This is going to be a super simple build. This is just sort of going over somebody that, you know, never built a live well or a bait tank or anything like that. Just something they can run off of. Give them a hand, showing them what they need to do here. So for my plan, I'm just going to drill in my hole above the spigot over here. Hopefully you guys can see this. Move this back a little bit. And this is where I'm going to mount my pump. I think this should be watertight there. If not, I'll drill that out and put a valve on there. But either way, it should be pretty simple. It's a nicer cooler, so it's got the foam on the inside. Let me grab a screwdriver here, clean that out. There we go. Alright, so that's drilled all the way through there. I'll show you. And got the hole drilled in right above the drain hole there. So right there on the outside. Super simple. We're going to fit up that Tsunami pump, see what it looks like. Fit up in there. Alright. Let's take a look here. So the Tsunami pump's nice. It gives you this whole threaded bit along with the nut for it. It's one of their more expensive pumps you can get at Fleet Farm. But of course, Fleet Farm sucks right now and doesn't have anything in stock. So I had to do what I had to do and get what I had to get. Oh yeah, that's going to work good. So that's going to end up mounting just right like that. There. Just get that lined up. Alright, so we're going to drill our second hole right there. Just going to put a little scratch mark for the top of it. I think I should just slide out of the way for the drilling. There we go, that was easier. We got that in one shot. We're just test fitting this all up to make sure my thoughts and ideas work on this before we glue it together. I'll take it all apart here before we glue it together and get her done up. Alright. thinking we were gonna do this. Now I'm gonna cut here. I'll get back to you when I figure out what I got going. Alright, so I'll show you what I got going on here. Everyone's gonna be a little different depending on what kind of container you're using and what kind of pump you end up with. But I just got the pump to the threaded adapter, to a short, probably 4-inch section of 3/4, to the glue-in connector, into the slip 90. And then the slip 90 just has another piece of 3/4 that goes through that 1.1/8 hole that we drilled. We're simply just going to silicone around that. Throw some silicone down there, and it should be pretty good. We're going to run over to the bench. I'm going to show you how I drill out my spray bar. Alright, so I'm set up over here on the bench. I got my spray bar in my bench vise here. You don't need a bench vise. You could hold it. You could have your girlfriend hold it. You could have your mom hold it. Doesn't really matter. All we're going to do is drill a run of rows in there. I just got an 1/8-inch drill bit shucked up into my drill. And actually, they're not glued in, so I'll be able to spin them. But all I'm going to do is just drill about 1/8 of an inch apart, all the way down, both sides of the spray bar. Alright, so can you see? You can see. So we're going to start gluing together the spray bar here. We're going to start. I couldn't find the non-threaded fittings at Fleet Farm, so I had to go with the threaded fittings. If you can find the non-threaded fittings, that's probably better off. But we're just going to start. We'll thread these together. We're actually going to throw a little bit of PVC cement on them there, because I don't plan on ever taking them apart. Keep this watertight. Alright, so we threaded on that section there, and all that's doing is just making it so it's a slip. If you could find one that's just a slip without the threading, save yourself the step. And then we're going to glue in this short little 4-inch piece here, which is going to go through the wall of the cooler or whatever tank you're using. Boom. Glued in there. Making a mess over my cooler, but it doesn't really matter. So that's that. Set that aside for a minute. We're going to glue these end caps on the 2 spray arms. There's one. There's 2. On this step, you got to think about here for a minute which direction your spray arm and everything's going to be sitting. So mine's going to come through like this. I'm going to want the holes to be facing down, so just sort of pay a little bit of attention to that so you don't glue it in the wrong direction. So we're going to just have them face up, because that's going to be down when we flip it over. It's super simple. Just glue that on there. Boom, boom. This is pretty much the same sprayer setup I use in my tank, just on a smaller scale. So now we're going to pull the pump out and start gluing that together. Alright, so this is what we ended up with for our setup here. I've just got my pump to a threaded to slip, so I can glue in my small section here. And then I've got a double slip to the 90. We're going to glue this up. You don't need to watch that. You just watched me glue up before, and then I'll grab you guys again when we're installing it in the cooler. Alright, so I slid that pump through the outside of the cooler there. I got the nut that comes with it. We're just going to throw a little bit of silicone on the back side of the nut. See if there's any left in here. We gotta get that dried up stuff off the tip quick. There we go. Now we're running. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of silicone on here. I know it's not aquarium safe, but it doesn't matter. I've built so many tanks and buckets and stuff at this point. Normal silicone works just fine. Buy aquarium safe if you're rich. Or if you're building an aquarium. We're just gonna thread that all the way on there. Get her glued down. Snugged up. Nice and tight. Get a bunch of silicone all over our hands. That's exactly what we were hoping for. Alright, so that's installed there. Alright guys, I got this up and running. I lost a little bit of footage there at the end of the build, but we'll just sort of go over it again here. I've just got this pipe plumbed through here. I ended up having to drill a little bit bigger than 1 1/8" hole there just to get it all lined up. So I just shot some spray foam in there. But there's the spray bar running, pushing plenty of oxygen into that water. Plenty room for my 2 fish in there for this tournament and whatever other tournaments I get into, or if I just want to keep my fish alive instead of on the ice in my boat. My boat doesn't have a live well in it, so I got one now. There she is running. You can hear it doing its job. The tsunami pump, it's really pushing some water. I just got it hooked up to a 12 volt here. It's gonna hook up to my trolling motor. We're gonna be good to go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. We got it built, super simple build. Anybody can conquer this one with just a few simple tools. Great for keeping your bait alive, great for keeping your fish alive in a tournament, keeping them fresh if you don't want to have them on ice in the boat. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, I appreciate the views, comments, and subscriptions. Gonna do my best to just keep growing this channel and keep giving you guys some good footage that you'll enjoy to watch. Stay tuned for the contest. You'll be seeing that next. Probably some other adventures that I come up with. Thanks, guys.